Welcome back once again, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today, courtesy of our friends across the pond at boxing247.com. We're going to get started with a bit of a double header here. We're going to start off with a bit of news concerning Gervonta Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia and their big fight coming up very soon. And then another story to follow up on that story regarding the undercard of that particular fight. So let's start off with the main headliners. As I said, we all know who they are. Gervonta Tank Davis. Been in a bit of trouble with the law lately, but we'll set that aside. Undefeated 5-time world champion and boxing superstar Gervonta Tank Davis will make his highly anticipated return to the nation's capital to defend his WBA world lightweight title against unbeaten world champion Hector Luis Garcia, headlining a Showtime pay-per-view event from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. And it's an event presented by PBC Premier Boxing Champions. Without a doubt, Davis has established himself as one of the boxing's hottest must-see attractions, capturing 5 world titles through 3 divisions with dramatic knockdowns and knockouts and selling out arenas from Los Angeles to Atlanta to New York. And the Baltimore native will return to fight in D.C. for the first time since 2016, when he headlines, as we say, against a dangerous and streaking Hector Luis Garcia, needing a win to pave the way for the recently announced blockbuster clash against unbeaten star Ryan Garcia sometime in the spring of 2023. So Capital One Arena had this to say. Jordan Silberman, who's a general manager, we're ready to welcome boxing back to the big stage. And after 17 years, it's an honor to host Tank, a Baltimore native, and Hector Luis Garcia for what will no doubt be a special night at Capital One Arena. Good for him. Davis, by the way, is 27-0, 25 knockouts, currently holds a WBA lightweight title, and will attempt his 4th defense by meeting Luis Garcia. Davis delivered yet another highlight reel performance in his last bout, blasting out the previously unbeaten Rolando Romero with a powerful left hand in the 6th round back in May of 2022. In 2021, by the way, Gervonta Davis became a 3-division world champ by capturing a 140-pound title with a brilliant stoppage over then unbeaten Mario Barrios before turning away top lightweight contender Isaiah Cruz in a successful December title defense. Said Davis, I'm very excited to be fighting again. I can't wait to see all my day one supporters, family, friends, and fans come together for the big fight party. My opponent is an Olympian and a world champion who's proven to the boxing world that he's a tremendous competitor. I'm in camp working hard, and I'll be ready January 7th to make this a statement fight for all my future opponents. Make sure you get your tickets now, because this fight is going to be a sellout for sure. Keep supporting me, and I'll fight for you. The WBA super featherweight world title champion Hector Luis Garcia, he's 16-0, 10 knockouts, is coming off a spectacular 2022, highlighted by 2 marquee victories. Garcia had fought professionally since December 2016 after a stellar amateur career that included representing his native Dominican Republic in the 2016 Olympics and a runner-up finish at the 2015 Pan Am Games here in Toronto. Now training in Las Vegas under the watchful eye of respectful trainer Bob Santos, Garcia scored one of the biggest upsets of 2022 in February when he dropped and defeated then unbeaten Chris Colbert. In August, Garcia captured the world title with a one-sided unanimous decision over incumbent Roger Gutierrez, making him a strong candidate for Fighter of the Year honors. The 31-year-old stands at 5'9" and will own a sizable height advantage over Tank Davis when he makes his lightweight debut this upcoming weekend. So there's a bit of news for you regarding those 2 fighters who'll go toe-to-toe headlining this event at the Capital One Arena. On the undercard, we have quite a glittery lineup of young rising stars. And they will highlight, by the way, a 3-bout streaming presentation on the Showtime Sports YouTube channel and Showtime's boxing Facebook page. So that's a bit of a change for Showtime. As I said earlier, it's a PBC event taking place in Washington, and the Showtime show, hosted by award-winning Morning Combat live digital show host Luke Thomas, and Brian Campbell, starts at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time, and is topped by sensational prospect Vito Mielnicki Jr. battling Houston's Omar Rosales in a 10-round super welterweight showdown. The action will also see rising undefeated super lightweight knockout artist Brandon Lee in an 8-rounder, taking on Argentina's Diego Luque, while unbeaten blue chip prospect Travon Marshall duels San Antonio's Sean West. So those are your 3 streaming fights. Then there's a non-televised undercard, which will be highlighted by Washington, D.C. fan favorite and top talent from the local area and its surroundings, including the return of Peterson Brothers' former 2-division champ Lamont Peterson, who's taking on Michael Agundo in a 6-rounder. That's in the super lightweight division, while his brother and once beaten contender Anthony Peterson steps in to face Raul Chinino in a 6-rounder in their super lightweight division. Rounding out the card is Lanham, Maryland's Keyshawn Williams, 10-1-1, by the way, in a 6-round welterweight bout against Argentina's Gustavo David Vittori. He's 26-11-1 with 12 knockouts. Rising prospect and Washington, D.C. native Jalil Hackett, he's 4-0, 3 knockouts, goes up toe-to-toe against Joel Guevara. He's 4-8, 3 knockouts in a 4-round super welterweight fight. And super middleweight Kyrone Davies, he's 16-3-1, 6 knockouts, will face Argentina's Christian Fabian Rios, 23-15-3 in an 8-round matchup. By the way, Gervonta Davis' stablemate and once beaten lightweight prospect Mia Ellis will step into the ring against New Hampshire's Karen Doolin in a 4-round attraction. So let's see how those young ladies face and fare, and we'll look forward to seeing those results sometime next week. Let's bounce across the pond to a big clash taking place later this month for sure. It's later in January. The British and Commonwealth, IBF, European, and WBC international silver welterweight titles will be on the lines as Ekow, Essuman, and Chris Kongo go head-to-head in a scintillating addition to the undercard of the Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith tilt, as taking place, as I said, on Saturday, January 21st at Manchester's AO Arena. The Angeles Club produced a comprehensive unanimous points victory over boxers Samuel Antwi at the same venue last September to retain his British and Commonwealth titles and protect his flawless record at 18-0 with 7 knockouts. But Essuman will undoubtedly face a tough test in the form of Too Slick Kongo in what promises to be a barnstorming title clash. Kongo captured the vacant WBC International silver welterweight crown when he defeated Sebastian Formella last June in London. And he'll be hungry to start the new year in style by putting the first dent on Essuman's burgeoning CV and claiming 2 prestigious titles if he does so. Rising heavyweight sensation Frazer Clarke is another sterling addition to the event, which is broadcast live in the UK and Republic of Ireland on Sky Sports. The 2020 Olympic bronze medal hero is eager to ascend up the heavyweight rankings this year and will return to the scene of his last victory. And his opponent will be named in due course. Clarke's 4-0, by the way, with 3 knockouts. Speaking of another heavyweight prospect considered to be quite explosive, it is confirmed that on this fight, too, we're going to see Matty Harris, and his opponent will be also named later. This hard-hitting Coventry fighter, currently 3-0, 2 knockouts, burst onto the scene in 2021 and last year added 2 impressive stoppages to his resume, defeating Metmetsis and Paweł Strykowski. An unbeaten Scottish cruiserweight star Scott Forrest, 3-0, 3 knockouts, will be keen to showcase his talent on the night when he collides with Armin the Beast Busetta, 7-5-0. Boxer founder and CEO Ben Shalom said, "These are 4 terrific additions to what is already a blockbuster card. Tickets are selling out fast, and they are available, by the way, on talkinfight.com. with a bumper crowd all set for an incredible night of boxing in Manchester. The main event, in association with Wasserman Boxing, as we said, sees bitter middleweight enemies Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith face off in what promises to be an epic domestic clash for the ages, as both rivals bid to take a giant leap forward in their desired world title pursuits. Elsewhere on the stack pay-per-view card, by the way, Richard Piacapore faces former two-time WBO cruiserweight world champ Krzysztof Glowacki. Sorry, boys. As the local lad Jack Massey steps up to heavyweight to fight former world champion Joseph Parker. So there's some undercard news for you to digest. And let's move along now to see Matchroom. Matchroom has signed Gary Cully to an extension. Irish lightweight star Gary Cully has signed a multi-fight extension with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing as he continues to work towards a world title opportunity in the 135-pound division. The 26-year-old from Naas kicked off a memorable 2022 by earning an impressive fifth-round stoppage win over Mexico's former IBF lightweight world champion Miguel Vasquez on the undercard of Lee Wood's brilliant world title win over Mick Conlan at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham back in March. Wow. Known as the Diva, who fights out of the Coliseum Gym and Unit 3 Fitness under the guidance of trainers Pete Taylor and Neil Barrett, then puts pen to paper on a promotional deal with Matchroom in August before claiming a stunning first-round knockout win over Jawed Bamidi at Wembley's OVO back in October. Said Cully, "I'm delighted to sign a new deal and pledge my long-term future with Matchroom. I'm only one fight into my first deal so far for Matchroom, so to come over so soon after initially signing with them and for them to offer me a new deal shows the belief they have in me. I've always believed that Matchroom are the best promotional company in the boxing circle and always seen myself and my career being aligned with Matchroom. To get this deal across the line is massive for me. As soon as we sat down and talked about the plans for the future, it was a no-brainer." In other signing news, we see that a company by the name of Imperial Boxing has signed a Wichita Falls native featherweight Emmanuel El Trompo Moreno to a multi-year inaugural managerial deal. The 18-year-old Emmanuel Moreno is a six-time national champion with an amateur record of 141 wins and only 15 losses. So a name to look out for in the future. Moreno started boxing at the age of 6 with coach Mike Zapata. The duo won multiple national titles before Moreno made the jump to the paid ranks in November. In his professional debut, Moreno won a unanimous decision against a tough veteran, Christian Alejandro Silva, in Oklahoma City. Trifon Petrov of Imperial Boxing is very happy to be able to add Moreno to his team. Manny is a special talent, he said. He's full package from amateur pedigree to charisma to fighting style. When Manny Moreno steps in the ring, he keeps you captivated. He has all the tools to not just become a world champion, but one of the best fighters in his generation. Wow. Well, Moreno was very sought after, but ultimately chose to sign with Petrov. He said, "I had a lot of interest from a lot of other managers, but ultimately Trifon Petrov made a lot of sense for me. The work he's done with his other fighters speaks enough. I'm very grateful for his belief in me, and with his guidance, I am sure I'll reach my dreams in this sport. Being a professional is an exciting challenge for me. I've been perfecting my craft since I was 6 years old, and it's time to show the world what I can do. We've put in countless hours in the gym and on the road fighting and being ranked among the top amateurs in the country, and I'm now looking forward to the future, competing on the professional level and working my way up to the top of the sport. I have ambitious dreams. I can feel I can achieve them with all God's favor and in God's time. I'm very thankful for my family, my team, my friends, my fans who supported me on this journey. It's only the beginning." And he's expected to be back in action in February. And that, my friends, rounds out today's episode. And I do thank you for joining me today here on Talkin' Fight for another episode of Boxing News Headlines. I invite you to join me with Mike Gore and Cedric Ben at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for their show, Knuckle Up. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I thank you very much.